Alright, so I just want to clear up some stuff with regard to the abdominal work. Um, we've a lot of people overuse their back and their arching when we want to stand up or when we want to lift out of a squat or anything. We're arching, and this arch and lifting from your butt back this way instead of squeezing your ass under is causing hyperextension of the lumbar, okay, which causes that back pain. It causes you to have a weaker abdomen that's spilling over. Okay, let's get control of this. Okay, so we want to squeeze your ass down, pull in your tummy. Okay, so if we have this kind of imbalance, we really want to work on strengthening your core. Okay, we don't want to hunch and slouch, but we do want to bring this up and tilt this way. Okay, so this is the main movement that we do to make this work. And the one rule about this movement is do not arch your back. Okay, so I'm gonna try and get it from this angle here. Okay, so everybody can see. Okay, so it's totally cool to have your knees bent with this. What we're gonna do is crunch. Now a lot of times I'll have something overhead, like the rack or a bar or something, so that I can anchor and give some resistance to the crunch. Okay, and so we'll crunch, and the thing here is having this low back flat on the ground, and the idea is to pull in and flex the spine and then come back down with the spine. If this is all you got, that's fine. If you can unfold, as long as you're not arching, okay? When your hips start to roll like this and we get an arch underneath here, this is where you're no longer using your abdominal muscles. You are now using your hip flexors, and your hip flexors pull from here in your groin, at the top of your femur, through your pelvis, and attached to the front side of your lumbar spine. So when this gets tight, we pull this way, and it's pulling our back, and that's what's hurting our back. So crunch and use your abdominal muscles and pull in, and then let it down with control, and then keep that crunch tight and extend out as far as you can without rounding, arching. Okay, rounding is actually something that we want in this situation because we're working our core to tighten up and correct the imbalance in the pelvis. Okay, so as long as we're not moving into an arch, we're gonna keep doing this and bring it down. And if that's all you got, like I said, just come down, curl the spine, and bring it down. Maybe it's only a couple of inches of play. Maybe you're just barely getting your tailbone off the ground and then setting it back down. That little bit of motion right there, you'd be surprised, makes a big difference. Just right there. If you can, bring it out. You're gonna have to crunch down really hard to extend out, or else your hips are gonna roll. So, you're here. Let's look at that real quick. So from here, if we see a gap right here, then it's all bad. No arching. Keep this tight and work the abs. Okay? If your hip is like flicking and popping right here, that's because we're pulling in too tight. Go ahead and let your knees fall out a little bit so that just like in a squat, we're pulling up and our legs are outside of your torso, you can actually turn the spine and curl it in. Okay, so in and then let it go down, keeping this flat, no arching. Okay, so when we try to lay down too flat, we arch. When we try to use the hip flexors to pull in, we arch. Keep that down, keep this down tight, and pull in just with the core. Okay? Alright, guys.